Hello, everyone. It's so nice to have you back. Today we are gonna do some Greyboxing live. Uh, this is our second level, as we talked about, like our first level in like 2 weeks earlier. We had a house for Badriyah, and it served the purpose of basically setting up the plot and giving tutorials about like the climbing system that we have, all the mechanics like jumping and from ledge to ledge and climbing up and everything. So for now, in this level, we will assume that the player is familiar with all the controls, and we will actually start the gameplay with challenges, difficulties, and also we did not introduce combat system in the last level in the house Greyboxing, but here in this level, we're going to do that as well. Now, according to the plot, Badriyah is going just to retrieve her friend and to get the pearl back, which is stolen by the jinns. So she would not be well. She have a dagger and her weapon and everything. She comes prepared to this part after the cutscene plays in the first one. So, but still, it's gonna be the first time she's gonna fighting some jinns and everything. So plot-wise, it wouldn't make sense that she comes up and takes on like full 10 jinns or something like that. So what we're gonna do is when there would be like the first encounter of combat, there would be only one jinn, and there would be some dialogues in between them, and after that we will introduce what to press, which keys to use to do the combat, like to dodge or to attack, and to use combos, etc. So we're going to do that in this level at the beginning after a few. I mean, we're not going to do like right now when she's teleported here. There won't be a Jin standing right now, but like after a few minutes, I would say, like she would walk a little bit there, and then we're going to introduce all that. So after after we introduce the players to the combat system, then we're going to sprinkle some jinns in our traversal level, and we're gonna do that by keeping in mind that we have to keep the gameplay fun. So today is our the goal is to basically gray box this level, to think about where everything comes about, and so this basically is a little model of a castle. It is inspired by Al Jahili Fort, which is UAE's biggest fort, built by Sheikh Zayed himself in his period. I know my history. So basically, we are gonna be using that as an inspiration, as we have. As you can see, like if you make a game in Rome, there are architectural buildings. You take inspiration from them, but like just like Assassin's Creed did. But then they have touch of their own to accommodate their game. So that's what we're going to do as well. We have this little architectural piece here that is inspired by something Emirati, but then it is a jinn's castle. It is occupied by jinns, of course. But we are here to actually get a jewel with the pearls. The jewels were also stolen. There are 3 jewels as well, if you have noticed our title as well. So right now, as Badriyah grew up, the immediate context was that those jewels were stolen, and Badriyah is gonna be attracted to those jewels since she has those magical powers, and the amulet she's carrying along with the dagger, that is also a magical weapon. So this castle needs a magical touch as well. So just like if you have played or seen Prince of Persia games, they also like have this kind of magical kind of story based on Arabian stories like Thousand Nights. But the thing is that with them, they were in based in Persia, right? So they also like took some architectural inspirations from them. So what we're going to do is we're not going to implement anything inside, because that would definitely take a lot of time, and that would also take like in terms of arts and designing, not in level creation because we have all the mechanics we need, but in terms of arts and designing, that would be not a single or two person's job, right? So that's why we're gonna do something smart. We took Al Juhili Fort for that as well. It has like cool this round areas. So our gameplay is going to be implemented here. Well, so let's just get into it. So basically, I marked this little triangular thing orange, and this would say that this would help me understand where we need to start. Right now, everything looks similar from all the angles. The thing is that we don't have any assets in it. It's just a gray box. After we'll have some assets, then the players in the polished game, they would be able to recognize where they are. Right now, they have started from some other place. But with greyboxing, it gets a little difficult. So that's why I have marked here. So we will start from here. And then it's still in a game. We're not going to allow the player to just go anywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to block one pathway here so that she will be guided that where she needs to go. Okay. So we're going to have what I plan to do is that let's cover this up. We will later on add objects, relevant objects, just like what is there in the castle, like some trenches. I don't know, not trenches, not here perhaps, but like we're also gonna have some things outside. So she would be moving in the castle, and then the level is gonna happen. But outside, nothing of the gameplay, nothing significant is gonna happen. Okay, so therefore I guess trenches is not a good idea, but there would be some things like some obstacles, weapon stashes, some tents, some enemy compounds, like like what happens with the soldiers and everything. So we'll have those things, but then we'll also have some magical objects like moving platforms and everything. So right now we'll just use certain shapes like cubes and everything for the obstacles, and I'm going to use Pro Builder for that. Let's go to Window. Let's go to Tools, Pro Builder, and Pro Builder window. So I'm going to stack it up here on the left, and this is good. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to. So this plane basically is also a Pro Builder created object. So as you can see, we have these four options, and whenever we have a Pro Builder window on, so this option means that we can select individual faces. We can delete them to make a hole inside. We can use these things like we can detach face. We can extrude it to dig something like this. So basically, we have all the control here with the Pro Builder. It's a very good tool and very used one with Unity level designing in Greyboxing. So plane is set. As you can see, I have set nav mesh on it for our enemies as well. And I'm gonna yeah. So we can walk easily on it. We can do dodging and everything. Now, this is a perspective of this part from there. It's a big area, and we can create our cool level here, I guess. So let's get started. Let's make another obstacle to stop player from going there. I guess I'm going to use a plane again, or okay, I can use a cube, I guess, or let's use a plane. So select whole object. Cool. So width and height should be reduced, of course. Okay, it also reduce. It's fine. And yeah, you walk this way. Okay. It's gonna come up here. Cool. So with this part being blocked, it will come with its mesh renderer, but we will have to. No, the plane should come with a collider. It's coming with a collider. Okay. So when I'll close this window, the preview will be gone, and we'll have our plane. Now let's go to this side. Now the user will know that we're gonna go to this side. So I guess we will start with a little bit of climbing from here. We will add a few cubes, blocks. Um, we'll just show that be a smooth start from here because then there's a whole lot of climbing happening, and so we will in the tutorial we told the player that what they can do, and we gave them a lot of hints. But then with the climbing and traversal games, it is very difficult to manage like the difficulty and everything. So one way is that to let user know of all the controls in the beginning, and then leaving them to figuring out by themselves that what controls do they need to beat up a level or something. So from here, since it's just starting of this castle scene, so we're gonna add a few objects like this, so that we will probably add some rocks or something like that, or maybe some compounds with the doors here, so that it will show them that we are climbing something at least. By compound, I mean like where the soldiers in a fort would sleep and everything. If you have played some Assassin's Creed games or something like that, then you would know that in certain forts, etc., they have this whole compounds where enemies are inside and everything. So these compounds would not have this one particularly would not allow the player to go inside, but there would be some that we'll see as we go on. But right now it would be just a smooth climbing. So I guess this is fine. Besides, we can increase X of it, I guess. Fine. Just like that. Actually, no. What we should do is basically, rather than building this, we can have. So, okay, cool. We're gonna have it here, and then we're gonna make it long, and then stack up other cubes on it. So just like that, inside a bit, so that we can have this look. All right, and from Z axis, we're gonna make it like this. Okay, and then we're gonna build it, and then on top of it, we're gonna make it a little smaller. And the reason why the player would go here rather than coming on this area would be that we need to make the reason, right? Basically. So we will need to add a similar thing like this as an obstacle. Duplicate this. So I duplicated this. Okay. So we'll put some door on it and something like that, and then we will let's create another plane so that we will make it wider, or maybe a cube. Before that, let me finish building this. This looks good. This is in the air. That looks good. Fine. Then the shape called saucer cube, but it would have very long length. Yeah, it would be very wide. Matching the length. I'm joining it with this one. Be a little more wider and less long. So next, well, all right. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and press build, and we're gonna start climbing from here. We're gonna reach at this little point, and we're gonna cover it with doors and tents and everything like that from here. And after that, with Pro Builder, we're gonna create a little arches for climbing on this one, but right now we don't need ledge climbing because we just got the tutorial in the first level. So after coming here, what I want to do is basically have some stairs here, stairs that would be a little bit arched, and allow Badriyah to either go from there, and basically stairs would not make any sense because jinns would not be using that, right? So rather than having stairs, we will make something like droppable ledges and a few ledges here and there so that she can drop here and then come back on this one. So we will give it the layer name as droppable ledge so that it will detect on collision that you can drop on this one as well, droppable ledge. she will drop on this and hang, and after hanging we have a little ledge here. I have to close. Okay, now it's enabled. I'm gonna place it somewhere here. So how would she know what she wanna do? So she will be able to know because we will, once she'll hang, she will see whether she can drop or she can use any ledge. So if she uses a ledge, we're not gonna give a tutorial here, but if she uses a ledge to come smoothly here, then no health would be detected or something. But if she just drops right away from here, there would be a little health reduction there, so she wouldn't know after that then what she needs to do in order to avoid states like that. So she would also get an idea, the players would also get an idea about the height and the everything like that, right? So at which height is like easier, I mean which height is gonna do what damage to the health if the player decides to jump or something. Anyway, this little ledge here is marked as default. I'm going to mark it as climb. Wait, what are the children? Okay, there's a collider here. Yep, sure. Alright, here's children. Let's test it out, how does it look inside. It can climb from here as well, I guess. And they will see, wait, it should have, it's a droppable ledge. Okay, here's a mesh collider. It should be convex. Let's see. Cool. Now if we press X and then drop, then no health is lost. But if we hadn't done that, then saw that my health did reduce. First of all, it should be a little bit inside, so the player cannot be able to jump on it. And then it should be a little bit like this. Top. I guess it should be in the middle somewhere rather than there. So right now I'm gonna leaving it brown, but brown colored ledges. But then we're of course gonna have some textures to just like crack or something other than that, like on the walls, which players can hang on to, some wooden planks even. So just to show that maybe it is hangable or not. So basically, after this little climbing and dropping demo would be over, not exactly demo, but like just to get them, warmed up. Well, it can. So I guess we'll give them a little tutorial here that if they run, then they're gonna go over it, right? But if they walk from there, like I'm walking, then they can hang on to it. So this is also a nice tutorial which we couldn't give in the house. And then there was a little bug here. Then we are going straight to the ginseng, right? So I press jump there, it is detecting this ledge, so maybe not that much. Well, we will probably change the distance between the values where to detect a ledge or not, but let's go right now. And we are also there's also one thing that we don't need to, we shouldn't, basically, if we end up deciding that there should be coins or anything like that, or some collectibles in the game, then the player should be able to go back to where it started. So maybe rather than having one ledge, we should have two ledges, one there, and that player can also decide to go back. Anyway, after coming at this point, there would be a little door or something here, suggesting that it is some sort of place or something which is in use. Then we need to show our tutorial for combat system. For that, I'm again going to use this thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole here, like a door or something, like a pathway, and with that we will put some plants, I guess, or palm or something like that. But there would be only a door to go, and there would be one enemy standing on the door. So that enemy would not be able to move. First of all, I'm going to need to rotate it a bit, just like that, and then like that, but this. And but wait, so activables here. But the problem with this plane is that when we created this one, we did not see what height segment and everything is there. So height segment means, like, if I select this plane, I have this little this size of an edge available to be changed, like put here and there, as you can see, and I can change it, and I can even select vertex, and if I need a custom shaped pit hole or something like that. So let's actually create a new shape, and there's lighting, I guess. Okay. I didn't see how many, not height segment, but width and length segments are there. So we're not being able to see it from here, I guess. But I think there should be less than 100, I guess. Maybe let's put 20 and see what happens and build it. Too much. Okay, let's delete it, and right, we can dig a door from there, I guess. So just press well, not now. Select an edge face, and I'm going to press backspace from there. It's not being used. We have 2 points. Oops. Might be 2. Okay, the issue is obviously the plane has only one side, I guess. So I should not use a plane. That's what it is. Okay, I didn't know that. So let's, instead of a plane, let's create a cube. Same old. Go with this and select whole object. Let's keep it here. Let's make it thinner. Say reverse, but using Z-axis. This much thinner is enough, I guess. Okay, the problem with this now would be that we cannot, I guess, cut through this or something. So to dig a hole in it or something like that, what we need to do is, I guess, use a bunch of cubes rather than just one cube and digging a hole in it. So we come here somewhere and then we're going to rotate it. Let's just build, wait, we can scale it, no worries, because it's a cube. Preview, we could do with a preview as well. So that's our preview. That seems reasonable. And then here, let's reduce some X. And all right, let's build it. And for the next one, it seems better because we will have X there. Okay. Cool. A bit more, and the width must be similar because we didn't change it, right? Or not? Let's see. And thank you. Cool. Now I'm gonna build it again, and then for the third one, for rotation, zero, and it comes here. Okay. And let's just make it a bit thicker. I guess that worked. Let's do it. So I think it's a little smaller because Badriyah will be able to go from here, but not the gens. So I guess we'll have to fix that step by scaling it from here now, since we have already created it. So let's do that. And okay. Now let's scale this one as well. Alright, so it looks fine for now. And we just need to put our enemy here now, the first enemy, and we'll have some sort of a collider or something here, which will say that, which will trigger timeline video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a video using cameras here. We're gonna move them manually and then create it. It saves a lot of time than using animation and then cameras on the timeline themselves. We can do either, but yeah, here we're gonna use that. So there would be some trash talking between the jinn and our player. Of course, that will get Badriyah angry, and then she will less hesitant to kill the jinn. There, we will tell players the controls about controls of like the game, the combat system. So let me rotate it like that. Let me put it over there. This demon's AI must not move. Okay. So it's gonna trigger when it's gonna start when the trigger here somewhere where we won't be able to see him. Yeah. So yeah, we'll put some sort of a box collider here. When Badriyah enters that, then we're gonna set it enable, and we're gonna set its AI to not movable, because other jinns, they can patrol around the area, but this one won't be able to do that. Then after our first fighting scene here, Badriyah would be able to come across this side. This side we can have like more of like certain things, just like we can say, yeah, just like weapon stacks, whatever happens in whatever is in the porter castle. So maybe some pots, some oil barrels, some wooden wooden things like some blocks or some things like that. Now after that, let's focus more on making climbing more difficult. So for that, in my level design, we had like little ideas. So first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come here, we're gonna stack the base, and we're gonna dig a little hole here. So the purpose would be that not basically here actually. The purpose would be to go inside the trench and climb here and there, back forth, and see what happens, whatever happens here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a we're gonna create a cube again, not of this size, but let's get it close to us. This is also gonna act as a little compound. We'll place some door here, I guess, and this will be this big. And on the right side, this side, we will dig some ground for the jumping level. So this is not climbable anymore. Let's increase the height as well. So we'll create a little bit just to add a diversity and not just to follow along just similar thing. So just so basically what I'm going to do is close this. Wait, I did not build that. What? Anyway, we have the same height. We just need to place it new with Pro Builder actually. So there we go. All right, let's build it and then close it and come here. What's this? And start taking here. So I'm gonna use this extrude faces. I'm gonna use some negative value, maybe minus 30. And the problem with that is gonna be, I guess, that we're gonna be able to see this. So we'll need to place a wall or barrier there if we're gonna dig into the ground from the sides. Let's do that here as well. Actually, maybe we can try something else. Maybe we can move this vertex over here and this vertex over here. Over here. Okay, so if I extrude now, then we won't have that problem I was talking about, I guess. And but these things, look at that. So I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. We have our little hole here. It's very, very deep. And go back to the edges. Actually, I'm gonna forget about that for a bit, because if I could have, if I did like vertices not that far from the wall, then I guess we would have all of them just near the scene. But like right now, yeah, just leave that. So as you can see, we have a bit of a situation here. We didn't want this to happen, but we can just place a you know, a block or something here. So what is going to happen here is something trickier, I guess, than what happened in the scene, right? It was just very clear that she has to climb these boxes. So I'm actually going to do this trick again, this one, because we just taught players this, and if they didn't learn it, we're gonna punish them. So what I'm gonna do is close this, and I'm gonna copy the ledge, bring it closer to me. This, I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Place this little ledge here, okay? More. And then we're gonna have one here. one would be here. So the reason I have to do this is that jumping back would be a little bit far, because if she can't jump it straight, then she cannot jump it back there. And then I'm gonna have to extend that, of course, or we could have scaled it. I think scaling would be better, I guess, but as you can see, this wall is not straight, of course, because the castle is actually round. So for now we'll just keep on rotating these things. But for future, we'll go there right now. We'll be able to create an arc from ProBuilder for these objects, and then we'll make sure that Badriyah climbs them. And from here, another plank. We can add a few spikes in the bottom as well. So just to show what we can do, like here, just to show that she should not fall. Okay, so you would be able to climb up from here, I guess, then. And because this ground is not a droppable ledge and we cannot make it so, then we can just have a ledge here as well, and then she will detect automatically that we're gonna come on the ground. All right, so this was a little ledge climbing thingy, and right now we need a break from that as well. So what next is that we want her to climb up to the next level. So we're gonna have a block like this. Or we can actually extend that one as well, rather than making one. The problem with extending is that it is kind of circular. So once she enters this place, then we are going to give them a ledge here to climb. Yes, 2 ledges would do. And this must be a droppable ledge. This must not be, because we want them to fall if they are not careful there. But if they are walking, then they're careful. So I guess this should also be a droppable ledge then. So again, a reason for climbing here would be a cube blocking the way. Should be thin. First of all, let's rotate it. Now should be 10, and it should be here somewhere. Z round. Rather than doing that, actually, what I'm thinking is that we should basically create, because we want her to eventually go up there, and we want some moving platforms to come in and some booby traps, and we want a little more action with more of the gyms, right? So what we're gonna do is we keep it like that, and to the ground here. Over outside, and from there we will need, wait, I did not build it again. I should build it first and then think about the next one. So at this corner we're gonna come a little bit close to the roof, simply hanging to it and getting on the top. From there, exactly on the top, I guess. All right. So let's build it. So from here, what she should do is basically, well, I should not have built that. With 9. That's fine now. Let's close the preview. Wait. So we will allow Badriyah to go and hang out in this area, and we will have some planks and everything here to show that we need to go up top from there. We will delete one of them, and then we'll have some wooden planks and everything. So she will figure out that, yeah, we had to take this ledge and we had to come up here in order to go to the second level, right? So from here, I want to introduce a new thing, a new test of our players' basically jumping skills. I have a thing here called moving platform in the prefabs. What it does is simply moves on the z-axis. Its position changes on the z-axis. A simple animator here. So since it moves on the z-axis, I need to get it here like that. Then of course they should be able to hang on it. So I'm gonna change the layer to droppable ledge. Did we build it? Please tell me we did. No, we did not. We can actually, it's fine. So this doesn't look good, but we will cover it with a palm tree or something like that. But right now, this is our main focus. So I want to see how he moves. So I'm gonna get my player. Okay. We will rotate manually, it's fine. So let's find out how it moves. Where did you go? Well. Anyway, I messed around with the script. It shouldn't be doing that. Let's open this prefab. This is the animator basically. So let me see what properties do we have over here. 400. We don't want to go to 400. What are you doing? Maybe 30. So let's select this and see. Wow, it's going to 100 actually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it to 30. So we're gonna create a little block there. 30 is fine, I guess. And so let's see. 30 and back. Nice and slow. Cool. It should be rotating as well. I have a little script here set up. Let's see what it is doing. It's rotating on the wrong axis, I guess. But we will see. We'll find out. Where are we? Okay. Yep, it's rotating on the y-axis. What we wanted was on the other axis. Or simply, for now, we can turn this off. No rotating. Okay. This is a little too far, I guess. And I think it should be a little bit like this, so that it will be going there. A little bit more, I guess, like this. It's too fast. It's too fast, honestly. But it's fine. Yeah, get it a little bit closer to the player and a little bit lower, so that rather than trying to hold on it, they will just jump on it. Oh, well, I held it, it's fine. It's too fast. I'm gonna go to the animator. Forgot to save this one as well. I think that's why it is moving on. Speed is fine. but I'm gonna slow it anyway. 0 point. So that's that. After that, we're gonna create an arched ledge here. But for now, I'm just gonna create a ledge. I'm just gonna copy this fourth one. Okay. And where the animator stops, we're gonna place a ledge here. And let's see if we can make it. Oh wait, it's in the, never mind, it's in the wall, I guess. We can, for the small ledges, we can just rotate them. But if we want to hang on to something like this, we need like this big, we need to create an arch. But right now, let's just try that. All the feet is fine. And try to do this. Put on top. Wait again. Or I try this. Oh, it's too far. It's too far. So, well, we are greyboxing, so we will just right now we can simply rotate it and we will see, but afterwards we can just try to get a little bit close. I think we should rotate it. But then I'm gonna move on to creating something. Wait. So as you can see, there's a big gap around here, so we need something floating just like this little platform here. I'm gonna copy it, but I'm not gonna be moving it anymore. So oops, what I did. Okay, no, I'm gonna copy this whole thing, I think, and fix it right here. We will make it something like from wood or something like, you know, in the original picture of this fort, there are also like wooden thingies where we can hang on to, like, I don't know what their purpose is, but maybe to hang on some lights or lamps. So when we are adorning that, we will just see what thing fits on, and then we're gonna make this wooden platform look like that. But for now, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna close the animator, disable the animator, and we don't have a rotate object here, so we're not going to rotate it anyway. So let's remove this component. So from here, we're gonna climb over onto this wooden plank, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna place some obstacle here as well, so that what player will need to do is, rather than going from here, they will have to hang and climb from there. So I'm gonna place some platform from CV. Well, okay, not child of this, but basically, I think this platform is fine. The platform 1 should come underneath it, like that. Did it with the z-axis to 90 degrees. Not from the z-axis, but yeah, we need to do that anyway. And from the x-axis as well. Scale it down a little bit. And here as well, I guess. Let's move it here. So the intention is that the player would come here, get disappointed, think a little bit, and then hang with it. Come over there by hanging and get on this side. After getting on this side, we can just get this thing again. Now we really don't want to push it any further, and we're gonna have some fighting scenes. So I forgot about a few fighting scenes. So rather than building a trench here, we should have rather than making it here, we should have it like a little bit further, and then we should have some of the combat things here, and then place whole of this small level somewhere else. But right now, let's get inside. We'll just rotate it, I think. Oh no. Good. To scale it up a bit, because of course. Yep, just like that. Okay, so after getting here, player would be able to like there's a small climb, so we have actually a layer for a climb like this. So I'm going to set this to lower climb. There's an animation that player simply goes there without hanging or anything. It's just a climbing animation, and then we're gonna allow the player to move here a little bit, and I guess delete one of these. Once we do that, as you can see, we're getting a little bit trouble here, but we can simply model them while making it like after the Greyboxing scene, right? So, but right now, as you can see, the player cannot jump directly here. So from there will be a little bit of ledges here as well coming in, and then a little bit of some combat scenes here as well. After finally, there it should be like a very big combat scene, like these 3 enemies here, and then a little bit further there would be more enemies coming in. And then there would be a climbing and planking scene. Here we cannot do I guess things like this, but we can make some ledges and then let the user climb. And finally, when they do, at this little red door, when they stand here, there will be a collider waiting for them, which would transport them teleport them to a treasure room, and it would be implied that the treasure room is inside this little door. So inside the treasure room there would be a jewels, of course, but there would be an enemy slightly heavier armored and having more health. So that enemy would be like a smaller Boston or something like that, and there will be some dialogue between Badriyah and him, and then yeah, there will be a combat scene after the enemy dies. We will show another cutscene that will show Badriyah getting jewels, one jewel actually from here. In this level, she's gonna get one jewel, and in the next level, she's gonna get the other two jewels. So next levels are basically the cave, and before the cave, there's a pathway to cave where the players have to solve a little puzzle in order to open the cave door. So one jewel would be there, and then after getting 3 jewels, there would be a final boss-in fight. So I hope that you liked the stream. We didn't cover too much because right now it's just like the general idea about what we can do in order to create this little level. There are a lot other things that can be added here. For instance, we can make a cube like this, hollow from inside, and make a little bit of interior of a compound, and then have a fight with one enemy there, and go to the next place from there. And we can have more of these things, but just like, you know, as I talked about, like tents, weapon stacks, barrels, these kind of things being an obstacle at certain place, and then some sort of underground entrances or something like that. So we're gonna work on this level a bit more. I'm gonna actually discuss with the team as well what is working, what is not, what else should we have here, something of what else can we add that adds to the cultural aspect of our game as well. So yeah, we're definitely gonna work more on this, but yeah, there would be simple levels like this, but slightly harder than that as well. And I also had these things like obstacles, just like these spikes. These are also like little animated thingies. If I can copy the position and make player come here, so the idea would be that the player would be avoiding these things. So it would be a cylindrical object and it would be moving just like that, but a lot faster. So you'll have to avoid that, jump over it, then it would be vertical, coming from like left to right, and then there would be something like this. Wait, like this, like a rotating spike. There would be spikes and steel and little wooden cylinder instead of this rectangular object or cube. So we're gonna add some booby traps, of course, in this castle as well, and then move on to the cave. But yep, the thing is that it's very difficult to, you know, to basically decide how to make this climbing traversal difficult. So it's generally the idea that leaving the player to think about what it is, and to just like what I did here, rather than stopping it or blocking this, the players would see, oh, I saw the little ledge there, when they will reach somewhere there, and then they will be, okay, so there's no place from here, and I'm going to need to go up there to the room. So they will have to come back and figure out what they're going to do. Anyway, so it was so good to stream today as well, and stay tuned to our other teams' streams. And tomorrow, I think we are going to have some voice acting stream for cutscenes as well as voiceovers. So please stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.